Your cost is $600 to $10,000.
What else were you doing?
Welcome to the watch party. In this episode, we have a case that starts with professional cuddling, but ends with accusations that will make your jaw drop. This realtor wife claims she started a cuddling business to get people get the human touch they need because they are so lonely. She promised she would never do any cuddling herself, but then why is she sometimes making 10 grand in a day? Her husband isn't buying it. Is she telling the truth and this is just a boom in business? Or is she doing the cuddling herself or doing more than that? I'm Tippy Morgan. You be the judge.
Okay, Paul, you thought this was a good idea to start with.
I did, yeah, and I was behind her 100%.
Okay, and why did you think it was a good idea?
Well, you know, she'd set out to help people who were suffering from loneliness, suffering affection, you know, stuff of that nature. So I did what I always do and got behind her 100%.
Right. Did you think it was kind of unorthodox to...
To be honest with you, in the beginning, she did all the research. If she comes up with an idea, I normally just back her. And that's pretty much where it was at that point.
Did she show you research on cuddling?
She did, yeah, and verbally. She'd gone into it a little bit, and you know, she kind of like.
She told you about it.
Yeah, she did. She told me about it in the beginning, and it all looked just a straightforward business venture. So I said, yeah, go for it.
You thought it was innovative, you know. She
Definitely,
was ground floor.
I thought this was going to help people. You know, from what I'd seen, it was hard for me in the beginning to grasp it because I don't suffer with any of those things.
Right.
So you know, just looking at it like that, it was difficult for me to grasp it. But after a little while, and the fact that she'd done a bit of research and gone into it, you know, as much like she does, you know, I was all for it at the beginning.
Yeah. So I haven't found a lot of research about cuddling. I've found a lot of research about the value of human touch,
yeah.
And there are animal studies about it. There are human studies about it. You see it in the value of it with children on the autism spectrum. You just know that there's value to human touch. There's great value to that. There's much less about cuddling with a stranger for money. I'm not saying that there's not some evidence that it can be helpful, because there is.
Yeah.
Particularly for those that have bonding problems and things like that.
For sure. Like I say, in the beginning, it all looked on the up and up to me. So I got behind her.
But she was never going to be a cuddler.
Never.
Okay. And did she tell you there were rules and boundaries and guidelines to this?
Yeah, there was rules, boundaries. You know, there was anything like touching, and you had to be very careful. Like when she would explain to me, if you did a cuddle and you were kind of spooning for one of the things that they do, you would put a cushion between you and the person who's looking for the cuddle. You know, and it would just talk and touchy-feely, just making the person feel relaxed. You know, that sort of thing. You know.
Right. But she wasn't supposed to be involved in this directly.
No.
And it was always dressed, and there was nothing.
Definitely nothing like that. Guidelines or the way you dress. I mean, she would talk to people who were seeking this service and spell out the rules. She would actually talk to them and spell out the rules.
But then all of a sudden she starts showing up with provocative pictures as the face of the site.
Exactly that.
And how did she go from being a legitimate helping site for people that maybe had attachment disorders or bonding problems or anxiety issues or whatever that would benefit from human contact they wouldn't otherwise have, to this sort of, because this doesn't look like a cuddler.
No. And this is the problem I had. This is exactly, I mean, this photo, you can laugh at it, but these photos destroyed me when I first saw this was what was going out and how she was marketing the business. I was just like, well, the thing you told me in the beginning, this is to help people, you know, it was all just fairly moderate. But
and you found inappropriate messages from men that were responding to these kind of these are provocative pictures. These are suggestive pictures meant to stimulate, right? And they did. So you started seeing messages coming in from men, right?
I did, yeah.
And what were they saying?
All of a sexual nature, every single one of them. I want to take you to dinner. Can we have sex? Do you know? It's just.
And some of them were very graphic.
Oh, completely.
And they sent pictures of themselves.
Pictures of men sending there. What can
like
you do?
Cuddle this,
yes.
right?
You got it, yeah.
Yeah, and
yes.
And when you see this, like, but then she says this isn't what they get.
You got it.
Yeah. All right.
She tries to just translate that it is a marketing tool. That's her argument. This is her marketing tool to get people to look at the site.
All right. You think this is contrary to the agreement you had with her when she started this?
It is.
You think it's contrary to your marriage agreement?
Completely.
So, do you think she's cuddling?
I hope not.
She tells you she is or isn't?
She tells me she isn't.
She says she's not cuddling.
She's not a cuddler.
Yeah. But yet you say she's coming up with money.
Yeah, this is the thing. I mean, by trade, Alaska's a realtor and a good realtor.
Right.
But she gets bored very quickly.
Right.
Okay. So she hadn't closed on a house for a little while and come up with this idea. So I backed her. I said, yeah, let's go ahead, let's do it. And then, after that, once I found out about the private accounts she had on the site and I was privy to some of that, it all went drastically downhill and I started distrusting her.
But she's showing up with unexplained cash.
Yeah, I mean, she was doing shopping trips, buying stuff for the house, and I just started figuring it and thinking, well, you haven't closed a house in a long time. Where's this money coming from?
And what did she say?
Nothing. She didn't say anything. She certainly didn't admit to cuddling anybody. She was just like, do you know how much money I've got? I closed on a house here, I did that, I had some money changed from, just...
So she deflected,
just bamboozling, yeah.
All right, but you're not buying this. You want to know.
It's heart-wrenching to see those pictures and the videos.
But you want to know what she's doing.
I want to know exactly what she's doing.
Well, we're going to find out.
Good.
Because I have a way of being like a dog with a bone.
That's why I'm here, Dr. Phil.
All right. Coming up, Paul says Alaska went from being a conservative, caring wife to having a secret profile on her dating/cuddling site and taking business trips to different states. Alaska says Paul has no business trying to tell a grown woman what to do. Well, that grown woman's his wife, and he feels like he has a vested interest here. We'll meet Alaska after the break and see what she has to say.
Y'all, what is going on here? This man is being bamboozled by his wife. Oh my God. So she's not supposed to be doing the cuddling. First of all, what idea is this? I feel like she had to have had an idea of where she wanted this to go from the beginning. Otherwise, why start this kind of business when you're already married, right? She just needed to be able to sell it to her husband in the beginning so that she could start doing what she actually wanted to do in the business, which is probably going on dates or maybe even more than that.
Alaska claims to have travelled to California at least half a dozen times to promote the business, i.e. with radio shows, talk shows. I've never seen any evidence of that. There's also been numerous times she claims to have travelled to Virginia to be with her family. Anytime I call her, never picks up, straight to voicemail.
Well, Paul says his marriage to Alaska is on the brink of divorce. Well, Alaska says she's not doing anything wrong and her husband's jealousy is just foolish. She says Paul doesn't have to be supportive of what she does. He just needs to mind his own business, because it sure sounds like she's minding hers. Take a look.
Hi, it's Alaska. I started a cuddling business with my husband last year. Cuddling has been proven to help people suffering from PTSD, touch deprivation, stress, anxiety, and the elderly. I'm gonna do like a mama bear thing. Relax, lay on me all the way. Paul did support me at first because we thought it was a great business idea. Recently, I found that the clients or the seekers, when they come to the site, they're more interested in dating the cuddlers, so that's what made me switch it to a dating site. So go ahead and join free at Date All You Want. I started using my own pictures to advertise. My pictures are just like anything you would see in Sports Illustrated.
These are the clothes that you wear to promote the site?
Right. I wear these items on the site now. This bodysuit's new. I haven't worn that really. I have to work something out for that.
If I'm totally honest, I'd like to wash all of these in gasoline and set them on fire.
My husband hates all my pictures being online. He'll get upset and say, you're not posting that. And I say, I didn't take these for nothing. Paul hasn't got anything to worry about. At the end of the day, it's just business. I'm making money for our family. Paul's not my daddy. He doesn't have to support what I do. He only needs to mind his own business. But I am gonna admit that I haven't been completely honest with him. Paul doesn't actually know that I'm personally booking cuddle sessions. I've been cuddling since the beginning of this whole thing. I don't see the problem with it, and I'm never gonna stop.
Okay, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So tell me about your business.
My business is a cuddle service. It started out as a service. I had 74 employees in the United States. A lot of people were interested in joining to become a cuddler because, of course, the pay is good.
Right.
I interviewed about 200, it could have been more than 200 people to make sure that they qualified, they really wanted to do it, and they cared for people, and they were able.
So what are the qualifications of a cuddler? Could I be a cuddler?
Yes, you could be.
I mean, how would you know? What's the qualification?
Well, when I'm talking to somebody, I have to make sure that they have good sound mind, they're in good, genuine health.
And how do you determine that?
Just make sure they're not ill or handicapped in any way. They can't, be that way if they're going to be taking care of somebody else.
Handicapped people can't cuddle?
Well, if they're unable to walk or anything like that, how are they going to get to all the cuddles and stuff?
Well, you don't cuddle standing up, do you?
No, you start cuddling standing up. Just like I met you, I take your hand and I put my hand on top of yours. We engage eye contact like we are now, and then we're standing up hugging.
How do you determine if you said that they're mentally okay. How do you determine
Mentally
that?
okay, like I've talked to some people, their demeanor doesn't seem genuine, like they just want to cuddle, they just want to get money. Maybe if they seem like they're not clean, they have to have genuine
So
They have to
you
have
met
good
them
hygiene.
personally?
Yeah.
You met 200 people personally?
No, a lot of them I talk to over the phone. And I get their picture, and I also get their driver's license. They also have to fill out a application, too. And that comes straight through to through the internet. I read the whole thing. I look at the picture. If they haven't followed everything, I don't even go through with it. So I can work out a lot just by talking to them over the phone first.
Okay. So the way you screen them is just your own judgment?
Yeah, it's my personal judgment, plus I look at, I have all their information.
Right. Do you have any training to...
Yes, myself?
Right, to screen for mental illness or to determine that somebody's a predator or not a predator? Or...
I'm a woman. I can determine if someone's a predator by talking to them. I'm dealing with people all the time.
Alaska is so consumed with this website, 3 things are happening. I'm being neglected, the home's being neglected, and most of all, our son's being neglected.
For my husband to give me a hard time about neglecting our family is absolutely ridiculous.
Before this website, Alaska's day-to-day chores would be seeing to our son before he left for school. Now our day starts with, I'm just looking to get a cup of coffee. Alaska's running down the hallway with high heels in her hand and a swimsuit.
There's no reason that he should be running his mouth about anything. Men are simple, cook, clean, and feed them, but no, Paul ain't happy with that.
Well, Paul says he was supportive of his wife Alaska's Cuddle website because she told him it was geared towards people suffering from PTSD, anxiety, depression, the sorts of things that human contact, human comforting would help. And there's not a lot of research about being cuddled by a stranger, but there is a lot of research about the value of human touch, human contact, including massage, all types of things. So that is not, it probably sounds like it's kind of out there and weird, but frankly, there's a lot of value to human touch, particularly if it's done with boundaries and rules and done in a professional way. And so when you say you have like 70 employees, you said?
I had 74.
74?
I don't have any of those employees anymore because I switched the site from being a service because I was worried about 2 things, the liability and because a lot of the people that were calling were asking to date the cuddlers, and that wasn't allowed. There are a lot of rules. So instead of dealing with that and people breaking the rules and things I cannot control, I switched it over to a dating site, and I just given the people what they were asking for.
Okay. And how do you make money from the site?
Everyone who joins, so a cuddler and a seeker, just like a man or a woman would join a dating site. You can join the site as a cuddler, and then you're going to set your own rates now. So you're not at set rates with me anymore because you don't work for me anymore. You work for yourself. You're private. Anyone who is a seeker would join. So you're paying to use it as a seeker. You're paying to use it as a cuddler. That's how I make money from the site.
So they subscribe?
They subscribe.
Because in your video, you said it's free.
It is free to put a profile. So you can join, but you can't talk to anybody, you can't send them messages, and you can't read the messages they sent you until you have subscribed to the site.
Okay. So they can join for free, but not really.
You can't, you can join, you can join for free, but you are not going to be talking to anybody for free. You can send one message.
So what are you joining? If you can't talk to anybody, what are you you just putting your picture up?
Join, and then you can kind of see who's in there. You can see their photos. At the top of the site, there's a line of photos on there. You can see the people that are in there if you're interested in joining. Because it's dating and it's cuddling. You can date, or you can cuddle, or you can do both.
But you use your picture as the face of the site, right?
Yes.
So you're the magnet.
To get people, because I advertise on Instagram and I advertise on Facebook.
So
when people are on there.
Like this is one of the pictures that you use.
This picture, one of the first ones.
Okay, and some of these are so racy, FCC wouldn't let us show them.
Well, I'm on Instagram all the time and Facebook, and I've seen Sports Illustrated. I've seen all kinds of music videos. I'm not showing anything more. I'm probably showing a lot less, in my own personal opinion, than Lady Gaga. I've seen her. I've seen Nicki Minaj's. I think everyone's seen her.
Okay, but these are provocative pictures, right?
I think I look sexy, yes.
So
but I don't think I look like I'm about to have sex. I think I look sexy. There's a difference.
But you're selling.
Dating is something. Well, when you date somebody, you want to get to know them. You have to like what you see. You're not going to date somebody you're not attracted to. So you see me and you think, well, there's probably more hot girls on there. I post videos where I'm talking. You can see how nice that I am. So maybe there's more nice girls on there too. They're not, I'm not going to date anyone.
Okay. Well, next, Paul suspects his wife, Alaska, may have a second hidden profile she's using to communicate with men on her site. She just said, I'm not going to date anyone. Is that true? He says he's even heard another man's voice during one of his calls to her. She says, I'm not going to date anyone. Is she dating? Well, we're going to find out after the break.
Y'all, are we idiots? No, we're not. There's so many things to break down here. First of all, she needs to run background checks. She said she's using her intuition. Girl, Uber runs background checks and people still get assaulted. She is sending people into other people's homes to cuddle them for money. She needs to at least run a basic background check on who these people are to find out if they have a criminal history. I think, honestly, this is like some midlife crisis or something, or perhaps she never got a chance to live out this type of lifestyle in her youth, and she's bored at home being a wife and a mom and dressing conservatively, and this is what she's always wanted to do. And look, if she met her husband already doing this sort of thing, then she would have met someone who's comfortable with that. But that's not what happened. She met her husband at a different point, and now she's suddenly switching it up and lying to him. But I really want to see what happens next. Let's investigate and see, is she telling the truth or is she actually dating?
Paul believes his wife, Alaska, has been deceiving him into believing she's running an innocent cuddling website. Well, Alaska admits working as a cuddler isn't the only secret she's been keeping from her husband.
I fear Alaska has a hidden profile, which is where all this real business is taking place. Alaska says she has one profile on this dating site to help manage it.
I have multiple profiles on the site. In the last few months, I've booked myself at least 8 sessions and I had to sneak off to do it. Sometimes I claim I'm just going to the grocery store and I'm out doing a cuddle. Paul knows that I have an obsession with grocery shopping, so I can be gone for hours without him even questioning it. Traveling pays the most, so I've traveled out of state 3 times to do cuddles. Paul thinks I'm only going out of town to do interviews to promote the site. I am promoting the site and doing interviews, but I'm also cuddling. I've cuddled in Beverly Hills, San Diego, and Utah. These trips entail going to dinner, sometimes going for walks, hanging out, talking, holding hands, rubbing, touching each other. Listening is the main thing, because a lot of people don't have people who listen to them and spend time with them. Telling people that they're worth it and they're worth your time, and just making them feel good about themselves. When I go out of town to see seekers, I never ever spend the night. One time I went out of town to do an interview, and then I missed my flight on purpose so I could do a cuddle. When I do a cuddle session, I wear regular clothes. The seeker wears regular clothes. I'm not wearing the things that I wear in the videos and the photos. I don't do anything during a cuddle session that would cross my personal boundaries in my marriage. I really don't care what Paul thinks about me cuddling or how he feels. I know it does sound horrible when I say that, but it's true.
Okay, so you are meeting up with men and having sessions.
Yes. I didn't know that. I thought I was going to tell him. I didn't know it was just going to be blasted. I thought at least I was going to tell him.
Great timing.
Well, you said it on tape.
Yeah.
You said it,
I did.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Just trust. Just trust. You break trust. That's not good for me. That's not good. I trusted that lady. She told me she didn't do the cuddling.
If there's nothing wrong with it, why lie to him about it?
I've never said I don't do the cuddling. I never actually said that. That is more of an lie of omission.
I asked you that, and you said you didn't do it. That's not true.
Maybe I meant at the time.
Maybe you meant, you understand, are you cuddling anybody? That's a simple question.
I am not doing anything wrong. I was going to tell you. It's just hard to tell you if you don't.
It makes it 100 times worse, because now racing around in my brain is, what else were you doing?
I'm only cuddling, so.
Well, so
and I've only done it a couple times.
Well, you said 8.
That, to me, I mean, a few 8.
What about your safety? Let's talk about that. What's that?
There's video chat. You can sit and talk to people face to face on there. You talk to them on the phone, and it's not my personal phone number. It's a phone number that is provided by the internet, and the phone call goes through, and it's an internet call. So I'm talking to people, and I decide if I feel like it's safe enough.
Well, you said that this is a dating site. Is it a cuddling site or a dating site?
It's both. There isn't another one out there. I thought it would be a great idea. There's cuddling cafes in America where you go there.
Well, what is your site?
My site is for cuddling and dating. So you can go on there as you want to be a cuddler, go on there and book yourself just to do cuddles, and that's all you do. That's what you want to do. You're a housewife, because I've had housewives work for me. They say, my husband says it's okay. I'm going to be a cuddler. I want to help people. This is a great idea.
I believe Alaska is taking money from clients. Alaska hasn't closed a house in months, but she's always got money.
Every time I spend any money on anything, he's always asking me, where did you get the money? And I don't even answer him, because that's a stupid question.
She's gone on shopping sprees lately that have reached $6,000 to $7,000. She has bought TVs for the house, furniture, beautiful clothes for our son, hotel stays for the pair of us. If I confront Alaska and ask her where the money's coming from, she goes berserk.
cuddling involves the human touching and the holding and hands-on.
Which is extremely important.
I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just saying that's what you define as it's on your site. And I've researched cuddling sites, and they talk about human contact and that it's all above board, and there's not anything special about it. Clothes on, the whole thing. And then there's the dating side of it. And date is where you pick someone up or meet someone, and you go to dinner, go to a movie, or go dancing, or go out and go for walks, and you do all that. That's a date, right?
You can do all that and call it a cuddle session because that person is giving you 100% of their time.
Yeah, you can call it a beach ball, but
Thank you.
but it's a date. I mean, that's a date, right? If
Yes,
you
that would be
meet
date.
someone for dinner, that's a dinner date.
Well, you pre-agree what you're going to be doing.
Right, of course. I'm not saying otherwise. But just before we went to break, you said I'm not dating. I'm on the dating site, the cuddle/dating site, but I'm not dating. But
Dating wouldn't tell me being interested in the other person in a romantic way.
But you are going to dinner with people, right?
I have
with
been.
men. They're paying you to go to dinner with them.
I have been.
Is that not a date?
You can call it a date, or you can call it their cuddle time, their cuddle session time. They're going to get their cuddle anyway. If that's what they want to do with their time that they've asked me to spend with them, that makes them feel better, it's good for you to be happy. It's good for you to be socially healthy.
So you're a paid escort.
I'm not an escort.
Well, no, you're escort. You're going with them to dinner. You're their escort. You're going with them. I'm not saying you're having sex with them, but that's not a cuddle. That's an escort. Here, I'll pay you
I
to
would
go to
call
dinner.
it companion.
Okay.
So, companionship. Because when it was just a service, you could travel and have a travel companion for 3 days or 5 days.
What do you think the man is thinking when he's sitting there having dinner with you? Answer that.
Anybody can think whatever they like. I can't control what
No,
someone's
that's not what I
thinking.
asked you. What do you think he's thinking?
He better be thinking he better behave the way he's supposed to.
He's seen the
otherwise I'm not
pictures,
gonna
he's
stay
seen the
there.
videos. Tell me what he's thinking.
Maybe he's thinking she's
You know
not
what he's
them.
thinking. So do I. That's why I never wanted you to post them all in the first place. Because that's how men think.
I know how men think.
So why
I have
would you
4
put
brothers.
yourself...
I know exactly how men think.
Why would
I
you
know
put yourself
that I'm a grown
and
woman.
me in that position? Why would you do that?
I honestly, I'm not trying to do anything to hurt you. I don't want to argue with you.
Well, there's another thing that distinguishes this service from others. Alaska calls herself a professional cuddler and claims her services are innocent. Her husband, Paul, says there is nothing professional about what she's doing. In fact, he says it's seedy, and there's a potential deadly side to what he calls her double life. Now, he has determined that she has deceived him. She can call it lying by omission or constructive misrepresentation, whatever you want. But there's another big distinction here that I don't think you know. And I'm going to talk about that after the break. I think you're going to be shocked.
Y'all, can we just all agree this is escorting, right? This is absolutely escorting. This woman cannot be trusted. She is lying through her teeth. Watching her sit here and lie to her husband like this is so disgusting to me. This poor man did not sign up for any of this. Like, she's splitting hairs here and muddying the waters and swishing it around. But I live in Vegas. I know sex workers. And what she's doing is also what they do. It's also a part of it. Actually, they do more of this than they do of having the relations, okay? This woman is absolutely escorting. She is lying to us.
Is Alaska's dangerous behavior could be putting her life in danger.
When I'm not with my wife, I'm in constant fear. If she is cuddling people, who is she meeting? Let's cross that bridge. How dangerous could that become?
I don't feel like my life's in any danger. Anything could happen, of course, but I screen the clients myself. I've had a couple crazy or weird things happen over the phone, but nothing in person.
We've already shooed off one stalker. This guy was calling and speaking obscenities down the phone to her. Content at least 2 or 3 times a day.
There's been guys that call through Facebook and want to say nasty things and want to do things to me, which is out of the question.
One time, I grabbed the phone, I said to this guy, if you ever call my wife again, I'm going to come and find you.
I've got a lot of explicit photos back from my Facebook and Instagram posts.
What about if one of these crazies find out where we live? It's not a matter of if she will encounter these crazies, it's when.
Okay, well, here's one of the things I'm concerned about. Maybe you can explain this because, I do my homework here. Well, actually, I have a really good staff that does a lot of homework. And there are cuddle sites out there that are look to me to be run by very responsible people that are really trying to provide some help and service to people that are suffering in certain ways. And one of the things I wanted to look at is pricing. Alaska says she's made like $30,000, and I don't know if that's a real number or not, but when I looked at the average cost of cuddling
yeah.
per session, the average cost was $60 to $120. You say your cost is $600 to $10,000.
I was offered $10,000, but if I'm going to travel, there's a 5-hour minimum because I have to travel there. So yeah, I'm going to
So
get
they
paid
offered you $10,000 for what?
to spend an entire day. So the person that we're speaking of,
This wasn't a cuddle
every
session.
person
This was
is not a man, by the way.
This was for dinner, right?
This is for just a full day of talking, spending time together. When I'm there, I also go over exercises so that when I'm not there, things that you can do to lower your cortisone levels so that you can feel better, lower your blood pressure. People are lonely. That particular individual is a widower.
She was
If we're
definitely
gonna
lonely for
talk about
$10,000.
It's a widower who's lost his wife and he's very lonely. He's never ever
Well, you
tried
told us
anything.
they offered you $10,000 just to go to dinner. No sex, just dinner.
Oh no, I was there all day. We ate. Yes. No, there's no sex. There's never sex. I don't have sex with anyone. Anyone that I'm with, if they've ever said anything sexual, male or female, that I cuddle, they are shut down immediately and the cuddle time and session's over. I charge that much because when people are asking me to do cuddles, I say no, I don't do cuddles. That's how the price gets driven up. And then it's definitely worth my time if someone's going to give me $600 an hour.
$10,000.
If it's a drop in the bucket to you. If you're wealthy and it's a drop in the bucket to you and you want to give it to me, I'm worth it. It's worth it for your health. There's more things than what you're saying that it is a health benefit.
You said that they offered you $10,000 to go to dinner.
Join for
That's what you
I
said,
didn't
to
just
go to
sit
dinner.
No, I did say that, but it's not just dinner.
And I'm thinking, if it's just dinner,
It
they
was
must be
all day.
really
It
hungry.
was there all day long.
They must be
It was there
really
all
hungry.
day long. It was there all day. I would just say that's a big tip.
It just opens up a can of worms. Honestly, anyone paying $10,000 is not just thinking of dinner.
But people on
only
the other
happened
sites,
once.
they're
It's not
charging
gonna happen all
$60 to
the time.
$120. She's saying $600 to $10,000.
I didn't charge that price.
Well, it's just what you told us, the range. And why do you think someone would be willing to pay her $600, $1,000 an hour, whatever?
I'd love to answer that question. You can cuddle Aunt B, you can cuddle a hungry hippo, or you can cuddle with me. There's a big difference between the quality of anything. You're going to get a Ford Focus or are you going to get a Ghost? I'd rather get the Rolls Royce Ghost if I can afford it. Just like people like Louis Vuitton, they'd rather get that than a Walmart bag. There's a difference. There's a level to every single thing. You get your
So
shoes
you're the
are
Rolls
different
Royce
levels. You
of
know
cuddling.
it. I
You're
yeah,
the Rolls
right.
Royce of cuddling.
Yeah, I know what everything is. I know all the health risks that you face. Look, there's an epidemic. There's an article written by Rolling Stone magazine about cuddling, how it's gone up since Trump's been in office. Even I know, and the reasons why everybody
that's a good
obviously
thing?
is thinking of it. I'm saying I guess people are under a lot of duress. I mean, the only thing I can think of. But I want to also add, when Obama was in office for his second term, he was saying there is an epidemic out there of people, children, teenagers, and adults that are under a lot of stress, and it's causing them to act erratically, and everybody's under so much pressure. Any threat to you, like your bills are due, you're trying to make ends meet, anything like that is a threat to your body, and it upsets you, and then it will attack your organs. Your organs in your body, like your gut. You have a gut feeling, that's your gut telling your brain that there's something wrong. All these things and the way you feel, pent-up anger, lead to depression.
I've got one of those.
Sadness, loneliness. You're not social. Hey, I'm talking to people about being socially healthy.
So
And I'll be honest with you, Dr. Phil, I don't think a cuddle's going to get rid of it.
tomorrow, Alaska reveals if she is doing more than just cuddling with her clients. Also, find out what caused her to become enraged during the taping.
Okay, so this is part one of a two-part episode. In this episode, we have Paul and his wife, Alaska. Paul brought his wife onto the show because he's concerned about her cuddling business. She said that it's just to help people's mental and emotional health and their nervous system, to cuddle lonely people who need human touch, right? But turns out she's secretly one of the cuddlers, and she's turned it into a dating service and is using her own photos as promotion or bait. There's actually some confusion here, I think, about whether it's a cuddle service or a dating service or a cuddle/dating service hybrid, because she's gone back and forth about that. But she's also gone back and forth about many things because she's clearly a liar. Lying through her teeth. this woman. I cannot believe how much she's talking in circles and being so defiant and indignant towards her husband. This is her husband. This man is the father of her child. He did not sign up for this life. Again, I said earlier, if she was already doing this or she already had plans to do this, and she said this when she was out dating and meeting people and met this man and said, this is my lifestyle, take it or leave it, and he said, I'll take it. That's one thing. I know people who have done that and it works for them. It works for their partner, their spouse, whomever. This is not that. No. This is her getting bored, being a wife and a mom, being a realtor, leading that regular suburban life. She wants to, get that money. And she wants to do it like this, where she gets to fly all over the country and she gets to, he mentioned now she's walking around in the morning wearing heels and stuff. And she has these lingerie photos on the internet. That's the type of lifestyle that she wants. I get it. It probably makes her feel, but damn, girl, not like this. Not like this. This woman is about to destroy her marriage. I can't even understand how her husband can sit here on the stage and still continue to be with her. Honestly, he cannot trust her. We can't trust her. I feel like she's definitely doing more than cuddling and having dinner and talking. And even if that's just what she's doing it behind her husband's back is such a major violation. I really had enough with her attitude also. But what do y'all think about this? What do you think about Alaska? Do you think she's just cuddling? You think she's doing more? And keep in mind, she said she was cuddling from the beginning when she told him from the beginning she would never cuddle. So she planned this in advance, planned to do this, and planned to lie to her husband about it. What do you think about her husband, Paul? What do you think his options should be? I'm gonna go ahead and watch part 2 and see if she finally admits to something more. She's already admitted to a lot in part 1. Who knows what else is happening in part 2? But you guys let me know what you think about this. Drop it in the comments.